doing in your virtual groups. I hope you're supporting each other with your friends and colleagues and the consultant. We're here today because we're going to cook up something new. It's called Zesty salmon pasta, and it's from our new cookbook called Passion for Pasta and Noodles. And it involves things like dried pasta, which everyone probably has in their store cupboard. We're using fresh veg today just because I could get hold of them, but if you wanted to, you could use frozen beans, peppers, and even garlic from the freezer if you wanted to. So we're going to start cooking. My nieces are behind the camera on the mobile phones, and we're going to start with the salmon. So let's go. We've now got a pan on here, nice and hot, and we're going to get it hot so it caramelises the salmon. When you get chicken or salmon or pork really brown, what happens is it adds lots of flavour to the dish. So always think about that when you're cooking things quickly. This is low-calorie cooking spray. I'm going to spritz that in. You can see that it's hot because there's steam coming off. And we're just going to add in salmon fillets. Now these are salmon fillets. I've just cubed them. Oh, love a good sizzle. Cubed them, and they're in about sort of bite-sized pieces, which is a really good thing to do. Now, don't be tempted to stir them at this stage. Just leave them for a minute and see if they just slightly catch and get that nice golden colour. If you didn't want to use salmon, we could easily use smoked salmon, or you could use cooked prawns, or even tinned tuna in brine. Just drain that off. But obviously, with all of those ingredients, you wouldn't need to do this stage. You would just add it straight into the cooked pasta like we'll do later. So let's just have a look at this and just see if it's starting to brown up. Oh yeah, you can start to see that it's browning up on there. And we're just going to give it a gentle turn because it is a fragile fish. And also, remember, when you take it off the heat, it's got residual heat in it, so it will continue to cook. So let's not overcook it at this stage. So we'll just keep going. Patience is a virtue. And this is a great dish. You can have this either hot or cold. We often have it at lunchtime, but equally, if you wanted to, you could do the salmon on a barbecue. That would be delicious. I tend to, with fish, put foil onto the barbecue, spritz it with a bit low-calorie cooking spray, and then put the salmon on it so it doesn't fall through the bars. And then you could do it like that and then add it into the pasta to make a pasta salad. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. It's still a little bit raw in the middle, but don't worry, that will continue to cook a little bit. And also you can eat salmon slightly undercooked anyway. Okay. Give it a shimmy. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah, that's what we were looking for. Look, can you see that? I'll bring it to the camera. Nice little toasty sort of colour that we're looking for. And that really will add extra flavour to the dish. Okay, I'm sort of happy with that, so we're going to remove that. And then we can keep that warm in a low oven. We have an Argo, so we'll pop that in. We'll just cover it with a little bit of foil. That will also help keep the heat in. Then what I'm going to add into there is 300 grams of trimmed French beans. And I've just cut them on the diagonal. And then I've got some peppers in there. There's 2 peppers. They're red and yellow. And again, you can use whichever colour you've got at hand. Even if you use frozen peppers, that's a good thing to do as well. Or you know the roasted red peppers in brine that we all love in Slimming World? I do anyway. They're really good to use in this. And again, if you can't get French beans, you probably could in the freezer section, or even things like asparagus or actual frozen peas or sugar snap peas would be good. And then it's 1 garlic clove, and you just crush that up and throw that in as well. And again, we want the charredness on this. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So while we're doing that, I'm going to occasionally stir it, but it's going to take, I don't know, 6 to 8 minutes to cook those beans through. I'm going to make a cup of tea. There we go, I had a nice cup of tea, a little spill as well. Didn't see that, but my nieces really laughed at that. Anyway, here we are, we're back, and we've got French beans and peppers, and you can see that they're all really charred up nicely now, and that's going to, again, add the flavour. Just try a bit of a French bean. Doesn't go so well after you've just had a cup of tea, a garlicky bean, but that's exactly what you want. You want still to have a little bit of bite, so just keep going until you get to that point. Then what we're going to do is just put that in a bowl, put a boil over the top, keep it in a low oven to keep it warm, and we're going to cook some pasta. So now we're going to do the pasta, and you just need to have a big pan of water boiling, and when I say boiling, like a rolling boil, then don't forget to season it with a bit of salt. Often people say you should make the water as salty as the sea. I don't quite follow that, but it definitely makes a difference to your pasta if you add a bit of salt into the water. And then 500 grams, that's a whole bag. It's a good generous amount of pasta. Now if you didn't have fusilli, which are these spirals, I mean, just use anything you've got. Penne would work really well, or macaroni, you know, just put it in there. And then you bring that back up to the boil and cook it according to pack instructions. Each pasta is different, so just bear that in mind. And then you drain that, and we're going to put that into a nice big comedy bowl. You're going to see in a minute. Okay, so we've cooked the pasta, nice and steamy there. We've kept some of the pasta water back because that really helps to make a lovely sauce. We'll probably use about 100 mils, but I've kept a bit more just in case. So that goes into my comedy bowl. Do you like my bowl? I got it for about a £5 at an old market. I thought it was great. You can put your head in it. In fact, my nieces have tried that earlier, which is quite funny. So we'll put that back there, and then in the arga, we've got the lovely peppers and the beans. So we're going to just chop that in as well. Oh, that's hot. Put that there. And then to finish this off, it's really simple. I've got a lemon. Now, try and get an unwaxed lemon. If you can't, then what you can do is get a scourer and you can rub that over the top of it. Obviously a clean scourer, not one you use for washing up. And then run that under cold running water, and that will take the wax off. You'll see I'm using a little zester. I use it upside down, but I think it's a lot better because it catches all the zest. A lot of people use it like that, but why? I don't understand. And then this is watercress. So it's a bag of watercress. I've just kept the nicer bits back for a bit of garnish, but the rest of it, you just chop it up. Chuck it in. It's really simple. But if you didn't have any watercress, broccoli works really well because it's got that pepperiness, and that's what you're looking for. Then the recipe says 100 grams of fromage frais. I couldn't get any fromage frais. It just means a fresh cheese. So I'm using quark as an alternative. As you can see, I'm not carefully measuring that. Or fat-free cottage cheese. That would be really good. You just put it in a food processor, whiz it up, and then luzz it in. Don't know if luzz is even a word, but anyway. There we go. Lots of black pepper. And it will take more than you think because there's lots of ingredients in there. That's why I needed this massive bowl. Probably not too much salt because I salted the pasta water. So we'll just see how that goes. Now, before you do that, this is the pasta water. It needs about 100 mils. There's obviously more there, but just see how you go. Because what happens is it creates a lovely sauce. That starchiness often is used to create delicious sauces, especially if you do something like a carbonara. You need to have that starchy water. Oh, looking good. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. That's why you need the big bowl, sort of give it a good stir around. And then just try a bit of that. Sorry, fingers in. Oh yeah, that's really good. Just needs a touch more pepper and salt. And then you're probably wondering where the salmon is. It's here. I haven't folded it in yet because I wanted to get the seasoning right and everything before we do that because it will break up. It's a delicate fish. So here we go. Here's the salmon. And we just put that in. And all those lovely juices as well from the salmon. That's going to add flavour as well. Oops, we'll put it there. And give that sort of like a shimmy, I suppose we'd call it, through the pasta. And there you go. How easy is that? Really delicious, quick and easy, sort of summery salad. And we're going to just serve it up with a bit of extra watercress.